目を閉じたら落ちてくガラスの迷路ひび割れた声まだ消えないまま藤た記憶誰かの夢にすり替わる名前さえ今奪われてく聞こえるか胸の奥できしむ鎖の叫び逃げないで選ぶんだ自分だけの芯を一つ書き換えられた世界で僕は僕を上書きしてくささやく嘘切り裂きながら覚めないなら夢を燃やせ一つ操られた明日に君の本と響かせてかけ違えたストーリー今塗り替えてゆけ黒いタイピン運命に鼓動が刺さる笑うシステム感情を食らう震えた指でログアウト先を探してるでも君の手が確かにここにある忘れるな偽物でも選ぶ痛みはリアル奪えない願いだけが最後のパスワード一つ書き換えられた世界で僕は僕を上書きしてくささやく嘘切り裂きながら覚めないなら夢を燃やせ一つ操られた明日に君の本と響かせてかけ違えたストーリー今塗り替えていけ必殺君の声で暗いスクリプトを壊して一つ書き換えられた世界で僕は僕を更新してく挟むく影抱きしめながら傷ついても夢を離すな一つ操られた未来君と一緒に飛び越えて交差してくストーリー今始まりに帰ろう
That's right. That's right. That's right. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Hypnocast. Yes, that's right. We are live, boys. We are live. We are live. We are live. We're going to dive down the rabbit hole. that is known as the internet. But before we do that, boys, you got to bring it in. Listen, we never get to hug it out on a Saturday. All right, this is Saturday. Is that the right mic? Is there a wrong mic? Oh no. Is there a wrong mic attached? Let me see. Nope, this is the right mic. This is the right mic. It says it's the right mic. I don't know. Do I have a sound effect on? Oh no. Says it's fine. It says it's fine. It says it's fine. Bring it in. Come on, let's go. Bring it in. Listen, we never get to hug it out on a Saturday, so this is gonna be probably the first and only Saturday where we actually. I got pink eye, brother. Brother, really? 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 Pink eye? Pink eye? You got to lie on my name like that? That's fucked up, bro. That's fucked up, bro. Jesus. Shout out to you guys. We're taking a break. SNH this week. SNH will return next week. But since the show must go on, and well, I gotta work. So yeah, I just figured, fuck it, let's do a Hypnocast this Saturday and hang out together on this glorious, glorious evening. It's a beautiful Saturday, boys. So before we do any of that, though, you got to hug it in. Let's go. Bring it in. There's a lot of you that seem to not know Hypnocast lore. It's kind of weird. You know what's crazy? I saw somebody in the chat ask about where Smash JT. Brother, Smash JT hasn't been on this channel on SNH for almost 5 months now. Brother, where you been? Where the fuck have you been, my guy? Where have you been? Brother, are you okay? The fuck's going on? Gaming stream tonight? Yes. We're gonna be gaming, and I'm gonna announce what the game is. Guys, get in here. Come on, man. Hurry up. It's a Saturday. I've never been zoomed in this long. It's very awkward. Come on, listen very closely. If you're watching over on YouTube, like the fucking stream. That was loud. We're going to lower that. If you're watching over on Rumble, like the stream. And if you're watching anywhere else, well, that's impossible. And chances are you're probably asking where people are at right now that have been gone for months. So like the stream. Don't let it happen to you. Stop saying I have pink eye. Stop saying I have pink eye. God damn it, Radoka. That's a lie. That is a lie. Guys, can I get a mic check? Mic check, titty check, balls check. What are we checking? Listen, we got a lot we got to talk about today, man. We got some crazy topics. One of the topics I was going to talk to you about tonight, I'm actually going to turn it to a video. I'm gonna make a full-fledged video on it because it is fucking egregious. It is egregious. It has to do with Mass Effect. It is fucking egregious, bro. Oh my god. But what are we checking? What are we checking? Watch new Blackstreet show up on a week with no SNH. Probably. That's definitely probable. But what else are we checking? Run away? No. Don't let him run away. Running away check. It's not happening. Plug gate check. Not happening. You got massive book. How? Excuse me? Wait. Hold on. So I got massive boogers according to Blue Octopussy, but you can't even see my nose. So what the fuck? What is with this pink eye? You got boogers. It's all made up shit. This doesn't make any sense. What else are we checking? Red eye hypno check? Okay, I'll take red eye hypno. Red eye sounds cooler than pink eye for sure. I'll take that. We could hear the boogers. Lies. You cannot hear the boogers. All right, you can't hear them. Atreya's plug check. Okay. I don't know if I I don't really know if I should ask this, but I'm gonna ask this, okay? And I know that I'm going to regret what I'm about to ask. Okay? So everybody in the chat, listen very closely. I need an honest answer. You guys are gonna be honest with me, right? Of course you are. Okay, listen. So true or false? Atreya showed a butt plug on stream. Is that true? Atreya showed a butt plug on stream. Is that true? Oh my god, chat's saying it's true. Oh my god. Chat saying he showed 2 butt plugs. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. He showed 2 of them? Oh my god. I regret asking. I completely regret asking. Oh my god. Gay Trey is confirmed. Oh my god. Brother, that is what the fuck. What is going on? What is going on? He played with them on stream. He played with them? He played with them? The second one was bigger? Why was the second one bigger? What the oh my god. Oh my god, boys. I told you. I knew I was going to regret asking. I don't even want to know. Forget it. I don't want the details. I don't want the details. I just needed. Oh, man. Anyway, guys, listen. ESG scores are at their maximum. We are indeed fully funded. Like the stream, boys. Like the stream. Jesus Christ, man. People pulling out butt plugs and shit. Just like, what the fuck's going on, man? I can't believe this. I can't believe this. One fat and glittery, one skinny and steel. I didn't need that level of detail. Why are you giving me that level of detail? Guys, listen. Let's do the Bigot Army roll call, man. Let's see who is in this chat right now hanging out with us on this beautiful, beautiful Saturday. It's a gorgeous Saturday. Who's hanging out with us on this glorious, glorious Saturday? We got a lot of people in this chat, man. Who's here? We got Full Metal 921. Yeah, don't ask questions, brother. We got Dylan B. We got Deidre Connick over on Rumble. We got Blue Octopus screaming at the top. Well, actually, she's not really screaming at the top of her lungs anymore. Never mind. Forget it. We got I Fought Chuck Norris and Lived. We got Denarier over on Rumble. We got War Wizard. What's going on, War Wizard? Wait. Oh, come on, man. Did you really have to say that? Like, did you really have to put that level of detail in your chat? Gotta get that stretch, cuh. Oh my god, this is gonna be a night. This is definitely gonna be a night, boys. Let me tell you, I shouldn't have asked. I told you, I already knew I should not have asked. We got Jason Alator. He loves the gape. We got Sleeping Nova, Pizza Cat, Jay Sims, Phil Espa, Will the Fans, Dana Ryer on Rumble. We got Old Man Cad. We got Dark Tanave, Dylan P. We got Jimmy Collins. We got Deidre Connick on Rumble. We got Dose Syndrome. We got Creepier07, Faye Summer, Fallen Reborn, Raza over on Rumble, Felstev, Akuma, Shogut, Vlad. Why would I react to that clip? Oh, I just realized what you said. Why would I react to a clip of Atreus pulling out butt plugs? That is a bad idea. That is a horrible idea. Vlad Tepesh, Adair Soto, Michelle a Little PC, Felstev, Hero. We got Hanny, Creepier07. Is the bar correct? No, I forgot to turn it off. I'm so used to not worrying about it on Saturdays. I forgot to turn it off. I gotta reset it. I'll reset it during the reaction with Laura Fryer's video. It's fine. Y2K Cowboy over on mobile. We got Mr. Blue Cthulhu. What's going on, dude? Gamey Wolf 87. We got Kurakami over on Rumble. We got Voice of the Water, Jay Sims, iDog. We got Yamato 85. We got Blue Octopus screaming at the top of her lungs. Finally, again. We got Zelosi over on Rumble. You need to see clips. Why do you want to see clips of that? What's wrong with you? Why would you want to see a clip of that? Commander Sonak. We got Tegan over on Rumble. Matthew saying Hero Prees. We got Classic Laura Croft. We got Vlad Tepesh. We got a Pig Beatus. We got Ron DFK. We got Romanizer 24. Matt Amoeba. A Kickin' Danitz. Weenie for Sweeney. Tiger King. Nick Havoc. Radio Chimp. We got, let me see. Let me scroll down. Let me see. I'm trying to see any new names, like Saturday Strangers, we're going to call them. King Demon Wing. He is not a stranger. He's a legend. Timothy. What's going on, Timothy? Alex Gordon. Hail Pink Guy. You son of a bitch. Lies. Ashton Tyler. We got Beautiful Zexel. We got Corey Harpoon. I'm here for a change. Well, that counts for something, I guess. I appreciate that. Zombie Hunter, what's going on, Zombie Hunter? Mervoth over on Rumble. Dark Tanave, The King Joker, Faye Summer, Azrai. Who else is here? Let me see. We got Panthera. He says he's not here, though. He's running away. Don't let him run away. Go grab him by the ankles. We got TJ. We got, let me scroll down. Akuma, Rodoka. What's going on, Rodoka? How you doing? And we got, let me see. Let me scroll all the way down. Ghost 101. All right, 4 more people that we got to get on with the show, man. 4 more people. Let's go. Who's here? I need 4 more names. Eternal Brandon. Big enough to fill this cowboy hat? That is not, I did not need to. Yep. Anyway, Internet Peasant. What's going on, man? Vigilante up. We got, let me see. Let me scroll down. Zombie Hunter. What's going on, Zombie Hunter? Y2K Cowboy. Melodic Method over on Rumble. Tribal Chief Ganondorf. It's a badass name. Appreciate you, man. Shout out to you. Jinx Hand. What's going on, Jinx Hand? D Smith. Uper199. What's going on, Uper? Mr. Blue Cthulhu again. What's going on? And last but not least, we got Shadow Buster. We got Omega Man. We got let me scroll down. Tech the Drifter. What's going on, dude? And we got DJ. Who am I offending tonight? Oh God. Don't you always just choose to offend Sonya? Isn't that like the default or something? I don't know. I have no idea. And we got how do I say this? Kuya kill? Let's go with that. And Ardith Bay over on Rumble. And Mad Amoeba. And Lunar Corkimon with a slide of Diablo Mozart. What's going on, dude? All right, boys, listen, no money shot today. It's a Saturday, man. Let me save your faces, all right? Let me save your faces. There's no money shot today, boys. That's what we're going to do. All right, boys. DJ says no. She just happens to show up when I decide to. That's fair. But Sonya hangs out here all the time. So she's here all the time. So technically, you show up when you decide to. It's kind of how it goes. All right, boys, listen, I'm underwater. Yeah, that's because the clapping sound is way too loud. All right, boys, listen, we got a lot we got to talk about today. In all seriousness, okay, there's a lot of news that are happening right now that we got to go over. We got a situation going on that I meant to cover the other day, but I never quite had the time to do it. I don't know if you guys saw this new service that they're offering to people that is basically like Game Pass for indie games. Have you guys seen that? Have you guys seen? I'm sure you've watched probably videos. I think Real Life Fake Wizard did a video on it and stuff like that. I've been meaning to talk about this. I kind of wanted to go over the trailer because it's fucking ridiculous, man. It really is. Apparently, they're offering a Game Pass-like service for indie games, and they're charging you like $6, $6.99 a month or something like that for like 70 games. And it's so like, who wants this? Who wants this? Anyway, so we're gonna talk about that. Go over that. The main topic of today is going to be the video from Laura Fryer. This video is titled "From Midnight Magic to Grave Dancing: What happened to gamers and developers?" Basically showcasing that there's an internal war going on in the gaming industry between gamers and developers, which I agree with. I think that's absolutely the case right now for a multitude of reasons. And I think it's a very good video. And I want to go over it with you guys and kind of have a conversation over why there is such a problem between gamers and developers. I'm sure a lot of you guys have opinions about that as to why that could potentially be happening. So we're going to talk about that as well. We also have a brand new indie style game that I want to go over that is apparently a Splinter Cell homage. It's like the developer got tired of essentially waiting for Ubisoft to make a new Splinter Cell. So he decided to do it himself. The game actually looks pretty cool. I want to go over it. And we're also going to go over the recent expose from a veteran Halo developer of 17 years that is accusing the studio of blacklisting, fraud, and multiple harassment campaigns aimed at him himself, all by certain hires of people that are in HR, and you know exactly the kind of people we're talking about. So we're going to go over that as well. And if we could touch on the new Crimson Desert patch, that would be really cool because I want to go over it. Guys, can you believe that these people, they keep winning. They took the private storage from 250 slots to 1,000 slots. Anybody who's playing Crimson Desert, you know exactly how huge that is. That is amazing. And the fact that they just did that randomly with nobody asking is amazing. I can't say it enough, man. Pearl Abyss, keep doing what you're doing, man. Keep doing what you're doing. So we'll go over that as well if you have time. All right, boys. First and foremost, let's go over pre-stream legends. Let's see who is in here dropping some fucking bangers. Got some bangers today. Let's see who's in here going the extra step, guys. We got a Kickin' Danuts with the membership. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. We got King Demon Wing with a 5 membership banger. Guys, I feel real bad for the people that don't watch Hypnocast. Do you know what that means? Do you know what it means when somebody drops 5 memberships or more? It makes the entire chat scream. But I got one even better, though. I got one even better. Not only does the chat scream more, right? Because that's just a thing. Not only does the chat scream more, but considering that is the first one of the stream, you already know. Oh, yeah, no, it's happening. Oh, yes, but Bomber Kang, it's happening. You already know what that. Wait, hold on. Where'd it go? Omega Man says, I'm gone. You already know what that means. That was my way of saying bye to Omega Man. That was my way of waving goodbye to him. Be well, my good man. Be well. Camelot Kiryu when? I don't know. He said he would do it. Camelot said that he would record himself being Kiryu. Dressed up exactly like that. So I don't know. We got to hold him to it. But we got to figure it out, man. Forgotten Vet, brother, thank you. $20 banger. Silent Protagonist saying absolutely nothing. I appreciate that, my man. Thank you. And then we got Blue Octopussy screaming at the top of her lungs with a 5. I was going to try an all-almond diet, but that's just nuts. Oh, my God. What do you call a joke? Turkey. Wait, that's not right. Type shit, cuh. You know, they just never stop. They never stop. Mr. Blue Cthulhu for 8 months. A duck woke me up very early this morning. It was the quack of dawn. I am just so tired around this time of year. It's like I finished a 31-day march. I don't know what was worse, bro. The first one or the second one? I don't know what's worse. Banana Bomber Kang with a 189 says type shit. What's going on, Kang? How you doing, bro? I fought Chuck Norris and lived for a 10. My friend claims he glued himself to his autobiography. I don't believe him, but that's his story, and he's sticking to it. Don't be mad. Chuck made me do it. He also told me to say type moist. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I appreciate that. Gaming Wolf for 6 months. Hope you have a Easter happy holiday. And gaming industry is at war. Well, I think EA soon is going to get cooked. Soon. Cooked. Probably. We'll talk about it. DJ with a $20 banger says buying a house. Also, will the fans hates pan. What? Bro, congrats on buying a house, though. That's fucking amazing. If you're being serious, if you're not trolling me, that's awesome. That's great news. That's really great news. Shout out to DJ, man. Everybody congratulate DJ if he's being serious about buying a house. That's fucking awesome, brother. Congrats, man. Tracy with a 5. Have a drink on me. Thank you, Tracy. I don't drink. Well, I mean, you didn't specify alcohol, so technically I could just have something else. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I'll have a drink, but it's not alcohol. Thank you, Tracy. I appreciate the 5. Old Man Cat. Look at this fucking guy. 5 memberships. And the chat screamed. What was it? What was it? Oh, it's pronounced pan sit. I never. What is that? It's Asian food. Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay. All right. I get it. And DJ says he's serious. So everybody, hey, in all seriousness, man, DJ troll. He likes to troll. DJ likes to troll a lot. But in all seriousness, man, DJ's been watching this channel for a long time. He's been a long time supporter. And please, guys, just congratulate him in the chat. Dude's buying a fucking house, bro. He's buying a fucking house. That's fucking epic, dude. That is epic. Congratulations, DJ, man. That is awesome. That is awesome, man. That made me happy. War Wizard with 189. You know, if he showed 2, there was a 3rd unseen. There was. There definitely was. I don't want to know about it. I'm okay with knowing about. Actually, I'm not okay with knowing about 2. But since I already knew about 2, I don't want to know about more. Judge Magister for 9 months. The comment. There you go. Hey, thank you, Judge. I appreciate that, bro. Black Tailgate with a 2. It's raining and skylights leak. Sad face. I'm sorry, bro. Little Jib's Halo with a 2. Developers keep trying to talk down to us. Yeah, we're going to talk about it. Old Man Cat 499. From what I understand, when he pulled one plug out to show it, it looked moist type. Oh, come on. I don't want to know this. I don't want to know it. Seriously. DJ with a $20 banger says Forgotten Vet is number 1 in the chat. But he's poverty and obese, so I don't give credence about his opinions. Jesus Christ, bro. Listen, Forgotten Vet's a fucking legend. Leave him alone. Leave him alone. He's a silent protagonist, okay? Those are the most dangerous protagonists. All right? Leave Forgotten Vet alone. Hashtag justice for Forgotten Vet. All right, but thank you for the 20. And then DJ with the $100 Red Boy Hyperbanger says, nobody wants to see Camelot. I hate the poor's metal. All right, I don't know what you mean by metal. I'm going to probably assume Warhammer girls, but you are going to get this.
Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna run around and desert you, never gonna make you cry, never gonna say goodbye, never gonna tell a lie and hurt you.
All right, boys, we have another Red Boy Hyper Banger. Let's bring the ladies in.
I'm going to assume that's the one you wanted. But regardless, it's epic regardless, man. Thank you, DJ, for the $100 Red Boy Hyperbanger. I appreciate that, my man. That is legendary. And then we got Debo with a 1 membership. Thank you, Debo. I appreciate that. Lord Bowser for 7 months. Why did the seagull not fly over the bay? It did not want to become a big... Oh, my God. How have I never heard that one? I have never heard that one. Oh my God, bro. I'm actually shocked by that one. I've never heard that one. Holy shit. Tracy with a 2 says nothing. Absolutely nothing. Thanks. Thank you for the 2. Zombie Hunter with a 189. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. What's going on? Is StreamYard's lagging? StreamYards is lagging. That's weird. You guys hear me? You guys hear me? Am I alive? Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? Adair Soto, thank you for the 2. Alucard with a 2. Want some mobile hypno? It's warm in my... no. No. I don't want that. I'm okay. Thank you, Alucard. I appreciate that. We're good? All right, good. Rumble. Let's check Rumble. Then we're getting into the content, boys. DJ Chronic with a membership on Rumble. I appreciate that. And then another membership on Rumble right after that. I appreciate that as well. Thank you, DJ Chronic. Always holding it down over there, man. King Demon Wing dropped 5 memberships over on Rumble. And the chat screen. Shout out to King Demon Wing, man. He's holding it down over there as well. Dropping them on both platforms. That's crazy. Thank you, King Demon Wing. I appreciate it, man. Let me scroll down. We got Y2K. Oh, my God. Y2K Cowboy gifted 5 membership. Thank you, Y2K Cowboy. I appreciate that, my man. And then he gifted another singular membership right after that. And then Denarier gifted another membership. My God, bro. Rumble's trying to show up YouTube with this membership train. Rumble is trying to show up YouTube right now. They are dropping memberships like crazy. What the fuck's going on right now? That's crazy. Denarier, thank you for the membership. Y2K Cowboy did another membership. Jesus Christ, man. Thank you so much. Kratos Raptor with $1. You got to check out the Snape diss track on X. It's really good and funny. Didn't I look at that yesterday? Could have sworn I did. I did look at that yesterday. Where the fuck were you? Wait. I did react to that yesterday. I'm almost positive I did. But thank you. I appreciate that. What else are we at? Let's see. We got, I think that's it for Rumble. Yeah, we're caught up. All right, let's check YouTube again. We got a couple that came in. We got War Wizard with a 2. What has 4 wheels and flies? A garbage truck. I don't even want to drum you for that one. I'm not even going to drum. I'm just going to let you be. Dikachu with a CLP 3003. Nothing. I appreciate that. Little Jim's Halo with a 2. What's an astronaut's favorite food? A starfish. Makes sense. Thank you. Makes sense. Adair Soto with a 5. Southern voice, I'll say, Hypno. Gotta say, this is the goddamn clankers trying to take down your street. Sounds about right. Appreciate that. Internet Peasant with a 5. I always start with a joke about a door handle. It's a great opener. They just don't stop. Mr. Spangus with a 189. It's Saturday. Where's SNH? I've been gone for a while. So if I'm here doing Hypnocast, what does that tell you? It tells you SNH is not happening this week, right? I also said early in the stream, SNH is returning next week, right? All right. Glad we got that out the way. Can't wait to be asked that about 10 more times before we're done streaming tonight. Boys, are we ready to get into the content, ladies and gentlemen? Are we ready to get into the content? Thank you guys so much. Are we at tier 2, says Dark Obsidian? I don't think so. Don't look at the season. Don't look at the trust fund thing bang on the bottom. It's not accurate. I forgot to reset the fucking thing before. I forgot to reset it. It's not accurate, but I'm sure we're close. All right, boys, let's get into the content, man. We're actually going to start off with the Laura Fryer video. We're going to start off with her video because it's a fairly long video, so I want to make sure. I mean, it's not that long. It's 12 minutes long. But I want to make sure we give it the proper time and give it the proper reaction. So I'll catch up on supers as they come in throughout the video. But we'll definitely check it out. Tiger King's already vomiting. Look, Tiger King is vomiting in his mouth. He's like, ew, I despise Laura Fry. That's hilarious, man. All right, boys, listen. We are going to react to Laura Fryer's video. All right. This particular video is a video that essentially is talking about the current state of the gaming industry from all sides, right? So it's talking about it from the side of gamers, and it's talking about it from the side of developers, and it's essentially trying to say that we are at odds with each other. We are essentially at war with each other, and she doesn't quite understand how we got here. Now, I feel like, not that it's disingenuous, I just feel like if you're somebody like Laura Fryer, who has all this experience, somebody who has seen the industry for the good, the bad, the ugly, everything in between, surely you must understand, at least at a basic level, and I think she does express that in this video, you must understand at a basic level why this is happening, right? Why exactly is this going down? If you're asking who is Laura Fryer, Weenie for Sweeney, Laura Fryer is a extremely well-known game developer who worked for some major titles like Gears of War. She head up a lot of studios for a lot of major titles. So she knows exactly what she's doing. She's been in the business, and she is an example of a woman who made it during a time before DEI. She is a woman that made it based on merit way back in the day, and she led teams based on her merit, not based on the fact that she was a woman. So anyway, we're going to talk about it, and we're going to go over this video, and let's see what she's got to say. Because I think we're going to agree on a lot of things and probably disagree on some things, but we'll see if she understands, and I'll let you guys kind of chime in throughout the video. Let's see. Here we go.
It's raining here in New York, but these gamers don't care. They've been out here in the rain since early this morning, and they're not leaving until they get an Xbox.
You know what I love about these old videos? Because she tends to show these old videos a lot. And I'm very happy that she does show these old videos. You know what I love about them? I love these old videos because these videos expose the tourists in the gaming industry. They do. These old videos where they showcase like some of the older midnight releases and stuff like that. These videos expose the tourists in the gaming industry in the sense that they expose that all this bullshit that gaming journos, media, and people as a whole try to lie to you about how gaming was a white man's thing and that there was no diversity in the gaming industry prior to all these DEI mandates and all this bullshit. These videos prove that wrong. They prove that wrong because I guarantee you in these videos, you are going to see all kinds of people lined up waiting to do whatever at a midnight release, right? It proves that the gaming industry and gaming fandom, specifically gaming fandom, was extremely diverse naturally, and it has always been that way. It has been that way since the beginning. But they will try to put it out there as like, oh, that was never the case until we came in and saved it, right? It was never diverse until consultancy firms decided to force it on people and make it happen for the good of the industry. It's completely bullshit. Anyway, let's go. Let's continue.
360.
Came out, man, I was hooked. Elo, tree.
Bro, the proof is in the pudding. The proof is literally in the pudding, guys.
What's going on?
Remember when a new game dropping felt like Christmas morning for both the players and the devs? You would have these midnight launches where gamers would line up for hours to be the first to buy a new Xbox or the latest Halo. It was magical. And if a game ended up flopping, no big deal. Better luck next time. But that's not what's happening today. Take Marathon. It launches and it becomes the hill to die on. You have
I don't think it was no big deal if a game flopped back in the day. I think there were people that were celebrating certain video games flopping. But see, here's the problem, right? A lot of information regarding video game performance was kept extremely secret, right? The whole like Steam charts thing, if gaming was primarily happening on consoles, don't get me wrong, PC gaming was always huge, But if gaming was happening primarily on Nintendo, PlayStation, and Xbox, all that information was kept secret for the most part. So you really weren't going to be able to have that conversation, and developers will try everything possible to hide that information, just like they do today. They do that today. What makes you think they weren't doing that years ago if they do that today? They try to hide all that information, you know? But the truth is that there were some people that were hoping that certain games would flop, but I think it's more so tied to the console wars than the actual games. I think there was a lot of fanboyism happening, or at least fanboyism growing, which eventually led to the console wars as we knew them. But again, it all depends on the time of which she's talking about, which from what I saw people wearing Halo t-shirts, so I got to imagine it's around that time period. But anyway, here we go.
Fans attacking anyone with even mild criticism, and haters
let me go
to
back.
die on. You have rabid fans attacking anyone with even mild criticism, and haters grave dancing on the game before it's even been out for one day.
True.
Bungie already had to rush out patches for microtransaction complaints and audio changes, yet the negativity keeps rolling. It feels like some people are treating the whole thing like a spectator sport.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened? Why do game developers...
So really quick. So it's in my opinion that the reason why they treat video games like Marathon, for example, as a spectator sport in terms of like internet culture wars is because I think Marathon represents something that a lot of people hate, which is the consistent pushing of live service garbage. I think it's the fact that it's live service garbage is what's making people really want to see this game die off. Because for every single live service game that dies off, that is another message that's sent to these studios to stop this bullshit, which results, by the way, in a lot of these studios second guessing a lot of the projects that they have. It's the reason why Sony canceled 8 out of 14 of their live, or what was it? No, I'm sorry, 8 out of 12. They canceled 8 out of 12 live service video games before they even saw the light of day, right? They probably wouldn't have done that if it wasn't a walking on eggshells kind of scenario when it came to live service games. They probably wouldn't have done that if it wasn't for the massive failure that was Concord and the spectacle that came from it, right? Everybody was making fun of Sony and just laughing at the amount of money that they lost chasing live service fucking garbage. So not only that, Marathon also has a lot of hatred because while this is like the 5th time that Bungie was caught stealing assets and art from someone and trying to get away with it, so there was that whole spectacle, and then it just turns into nonsense. But it's nonsense for a reason. That's the thing. I don't like for people to pretend like the nonsense is just nonsense. The nonsense is happening for a reason. It's always happening for a reason. Nobody just gets up and say, you know what? Yeah, I want to hate that game. Nobody, like, it doesn't happen on a mass scale like that unless there's a reason for it to happen. But anyway, let's continue.
And
Here.
Gamers feel like enemies. Why don't we feel like teammates anymore? What happened to the camaraderie that we had in the past? Well, for starters, the industry used to be much smaller. When I started playing games, I was the weird one. When I started making them, everyone thought I was crazy. The teams were small. There were 10 to 100 people, and they were passion projects.
So can I double up on that? So the development side of things was smaller, right? But it's not just the development side of things that was smaller. It was the industry as a whole from a gamer perspective that was smaller too, right? The moment the fucking industry went mainstream, the moment they started inviting in all these fucking suits, the people that took over companies like Blizzard, right? Original Blizzard, the moment they started coming in and you started having CFOs and fucking financial officers and all, once you started having all this go down, that was it. That was it. Once it became mainstream, once it goes mainstream, then the next step is it becomes corporatized. After it becomes corporatized, that's it. That's it. Like in terms of passion, in terms of creativity, that all goes out the fucking window. It literally all just becomes about metrics and statistics. That's all it becomes, which is so funny because these same developers, these same higher up executives that will complain about gamers using the Steam DB numbers as a metric to measure success and performance of a video game, these are the same fucking executives and developers that will go to their own developers and use those same numbers as a metric of success to figure out whether or not they want to fire people or not. It's so crazy. So like they can use metrics, they can use statistics, but gamers, no, you're not allowed to do that. You can't do that. What's wrong with you? Why are you thinking? You can't be thinking. Don't think. Just buy product. That's it. You know,
the game developers were gamers because many of them started by modding in their garages.
That's true. That is true. A lot of Blizzard employees were people that got jobs because of their amazing work modding Warcraft. I mean, it's just it really was a way for people to get their name out there. Like, hey, I want to be part of this, big company or whatever. Look what I could do. A lot of people would use their modding as a form of a resume. And it's not just Blizzard, but again, I'm just using that as an example. A lot of studios hired people that, were modding in their free time and showed that they have the ability to work their systems and work it the right way and make content for that game. They
were the audience. So there was no disconnect. They didn't need a big playtest group because they could tell if what they were making was fun. And they didn't face the issue a lot of devs face today in big studios where they land on a game that they wouldn't play themselves.
Yep.
There was definitely some competitiveness, but it was all in fun. Peter Moore, who ran Xbox back in the day, has talked about how he encouraged the console wars. He said he did it because gamers loved seeing the Xbox versus PlayStation arguments.
Can we, oh my God, can we harp on that? So we have somebody who was a head executive, okay, over at Xbox, encouraging the console wars, encouraging the arguments, right? So if you had the executives encouraging the arguments and the console wars, why the fuck are those same executives, maybe not the same people, but the people that are now in charge, why are they claiming that gaming back in the day was so positive and nobody ever said anything negative? And that it's only now because of YouTubers and the chuds and angry gamers and all that stuff that now all this negativity is affecting the industry and it was never there before. Oh, gaming was so positive back in the day. If you just didn't like something, you didn't say anything. Complete bullshit. Complete bullshit. And this proves it. This has always proved it.
And that healthy competition lifted all ships. Behind the scenes,
they're not the same people. That's my point. The ideology has taken over this industry so much that what started as healthy competition, breeding these arguments and having fun. People just had fun. People had fun with the console wars, fighting all the time, arguing all the time. Who's better? Who's this or that? It went from that to stop hurting my feelings. You're not allowed to say these things. There's a reason for that.
Went to each other's parties and we celebrated our gaming wins together. It felt like a real community. It felt like we were all part of the same team and part of the same club. And the talent in the industry was everywhere because making a game was hard and the technical challenges and the speed of change in hardware kept the bar high. It was about your ability to self-teach and quickly understand the latest tech. You didn't go to GDC to sit through a tutorial on how to inject climate change themes into your game.
This is why, again, I don't think I would agree on everything Laura Fryer says, but the fact that she calls out the bullshit that these developers are doing at the GDC and just overall their little gatherings and stuff like that, why are you going to the GDC, a games developers conference, to learn about Marxism? Why are you doing that? You guys remember the screenshots from 2017, 2019, somewhere around there, where they literally had a panel talking about Marxism in gaming, how gaming's always political and how gaming can be utilized to push Marxism? It's fucking crazy. Why are you doing that? What is that has nothing to do. And this is why, her making this comment about why are you going to the GDC to learn about climate change in games? What the fuck does that have to do with anything? Why are we doing this, right? We all know why it's happening. So her saying that is at least calling it out. And it's a good thing that she says it.
You went to GDC for survival. You had to learn from all of the amazing people around you. Look at John Carmack. He didn't have a master's degree in computer science. He dropped out of college after a couple semesters and he taught himself. He co-founded id Software and basically invented the modern first-person shooter with games like Wolfenstein 3D, Doom and Quake.
Yep.
Yes, there was some big money to be made, but it wasn't about that. id Software started with shareware. They would release the first part of the game for free. And if you liked it, you paid for the rest. That's how Doom spread like wildfire and made them successful without giant marketing budgets. And then everything started to change as games moved from counterculture to mainstream.
Damn, look at John Romero's hair back then. Holy shit. That is a majestic head of hair, boys. Oh my God, look at that. Whoa.
Of course, back then, most people had no idea who actually made the games. Most game developers were basically anonymous. John Carmack and John Romero built Doom and Quake, but outside of hardcore PC circles, most gamers didn't even know their faces, and they were easily the most famous game developers back in the day. You didn't see devs on stage giving interviews or posting daily updates. You didn't know their names or what they looked like.
Because they weren't fucking narcissistic. At least not publicly. And to be fair, okay? To be fair, I gotta say this. We don't know what these developers would have been like had they had the ability to utilize social media like modern day developers do, right? We don't know. For all we know, these developers could get their hands, if they were to get, like back in the day, back then, if social media existed back then like it did now, we don't know what they would have acted like. We don't know if they would have been narcissistic on social media like they are now. We have no idea, right? There's obviously a lot of stories about how, you know, certain studios were ran back then and all this, you know, typical bullshit, fucking crazy stories about, oh, you know, they like to party hard or whatever. I don't care, whatever. But again, at the end of the day, what I can say is that most developers back then were developers because they wanted to be. They were very passionate about it. You can see that from a mile away. And a lot of them have stories about how they started off, essentially, like I said earlier, modding video games that they were their favorite video games. Like she just said before, this guy taught himself. He dropped out, taught himself, and ended up creating games like Wolfenstein, Doom. These games are still talked about to this day. You know, so it's a very respectable thing.
The game was the star. Gamers bought it, they played it, and if something was broken, they posted it on a forum or they sent an email. They let the games speak for themselves.
God, look at those
Back
computers.
then, developers were in the trenches making the game, and the players were on the other side enjoying it. There was distance, but it was a healthy distance. That anonymity had real upsides because it allowed the devs to focus on the work instead of managing their public image.
But you know what's funny, though? Developers could do that now. Developers could do that right now. There is no reason why you as a developer should have or should want to have some sort of public-facing social media page that is all about how amazing of a developer you are. Like, I can understand having a LinkedIn page because that's like the professional website, right? That's the website that a lot of employers look at and stuff like that. So that's fine. You want to have a LinkedIn, whatever, have a LinkedIn. But there's no reason you should be out here trying to act like a fucking narcissistic asshole on social media. They're doing that because they want to do that, right? Like there's no rules or regulations saying they have to do that. But in any case, we'll talk about more examples in a minute.
It also meant that when players gave feedback, it usually felt like it was coming from fellow gamers, not enemies. The press were the gatekeepers back then, but reporters mostly focused on the...
It's crazy because the feedback that's coming still to this day is from gamers. The problem is that developers are choosing to ignore it. They're choosing to ignore it. They're choosing to call it harassment. They're choosing to call it hate because due to their narcissism, they don't want to admit that their product just isn't up to par. Nothing's changed. Nothing has changed. Gamers have been giving the same kind of feedback for years. The only difference is that now the means of which we do it is through faster communication thanks to social media, but it is literally the same. And it always has been the same. It's the developers that are choosing to say, you know what, I don't want to listen. This is hate campaigns. This is like, you know, harassment campaigns, whatever. You know, it's unless it's unless it's something that's handled with kids' gloves, they don't even want to listen. And even if you handle it with kids' gloves, they still don't want to listen most of the time.
Game, not personal questions. There were some disadvantages because these gatekeepers weren't always fair. I remember when I was working on Gears of War, I also was working on Zoo Tycoon, and no matter how good Zoo was, it usually got lower review scores because it wasn't a hardcore game. So you'd have these outlets who were mainly focused on shooters having to do a review of Zoo. They don't like the genre, so the game didn't do that well. We just ignored most of it and kept going. Then everything accelerated when big business really moved in.
Yep.
Investors could smell the money. And suddenly that old model of make a great game, sell it once and move on wasn't enough anymore.
That's when everything changed, boys. Everything changed when this fucking industry went corporate. Everything changed. And that's how it goes for pretty much any style of industry once it goes like mainstream corporate. I mean, look at the anime industry right now. You know, anime fucking boomed heavily. At least on our side anyway. But it's just how it goes. Anytime it goes mainstream, here comes the nickel and diming. We're gonna figure out how we can nickel and dime you, get every single cent out of you possible. You know, here come the microtransactions, here come the loot boxes, here comes all this bullshit. Here comes DLC. First it started with DLC. Hey, we can update your favorite video games and add content to it later down the line, few months later to a year later. And that way you keep getting content out of your favorite game. Hey, by the way, 2 years later, now we're going to be selling you the same DLC that you like, that you love so much, that you've been trained to buy. Now we're going to sell it to you on day one DLC, and we're going to gaslight you. We're going to say that we totally didn't take it out the game. Hey, guys, you want to buy day one DLC? Don't you like that? Don't you like that? You can add more to your game that wasn't there, that was totally there, but we took it out, but we don't want you to know that. You know, it's so gay, bro. It really is gay. Oh, actually, you know what? Hold on. I got one even better. I got one even worse than day one DLC. You know what's more offensive than day one DLC? You know what's more offensive? Paid for characters in fighting games. Because when I grew up, I was able to unlock all the fighting characters in a fighting game just by playing the game. The fact that now I get half the roster and I got to pay for the other half that I used to get for free by unlocking them in the game, that is gay. Straight up.
And resellers like GameStop showed up and they started reselling the games many times for a cheaper price. Game makers would invest millions in a single player game and then watch a lot of the money go to the GameStop instead of back to the studio. A popular game could get resold 7 or 8 times, and the developer would only see the money from the first sale. That hurt. And gamers weren't doing anything wrong. They wanted cheaper games. It's understandable what happened.
It's so funny that the used game market, right? The used physical game market is what caused a lot of studios to try to figure out a method and a way that they could continue to nickel and dime gamers and take that money that the retailers were taking by buying and selling used games. Because like she said, if somebody buys a new game, the studio gets the money the first time. Once that game gets bought and resold as a used game, 5, 10, 15 times, they'll never see the money. And they don't like that. It makes them sick. They want to see the money. So that ended up birthing live service video games.
But it made it much harder for the developers to get paid for the work that they were doing. So publishers started chasing the live service dream. Instead of a complete game you buy and own, we got games that are never really done. We have always online requirements, battle passes, digital rights management so they don't lose money on the first day, microtransactions for skins, weapons, or even faster progression. And I saw this shift happen up close. I watched games go from millions to hundreds of millions of dollars, the teams ballooning out of control. The pressure changed from make something fun to you're going to have to hit these engagement metrics and these particular revenue targets.
Yep.
Devs who just wanted to pursue cool gameplay, they started answering to spreadsheets. And the players felt it. You don't really buy the game anymore. You license access to something that can disappear if the server shut down. A single player experience with always online checks, loot boxes, and time limited events. And games started to feel a lot less like entertainment and more like a job with optional
Yep.
spending you could do. Look at what happened with Concord.
You can listen, you can only try to dominate someone's time for so long before people check out. Like, okay, there's one thing to try to dominate someone's time with a single player game because somebody could just pick up and play that game whenever the fuck they want. Right? You're not going to have any FOMO. You're not going to be missing out on potentially losing out on content that's only available in a 90-day season. And if you don't complete it in the 90-day season, you're going to lose it forever. There's none of that, right? Crimson Desert gives you all that content. You can play it. You can play it whenever the fuck you want, anytime you want. Pick it up, drop it. It doesn't matter. It's going to be there waiting for you when you're ready to experience it. That's fine. Right? There's nothing wrong with games that want to dominate your time as a single player game because you could drop it anytime you want and come back to it. But these other games that are live service games, they're like, oh, we want to dominate your time. We want you to be playing with us every day. We're going to give you login bonuses, daily login bonuses. You can only get these bonuses if you log in every day. And if you miss a day, they reset or some shit. Like, it's clearly meant to try to dominate your time every single day as long as they possibly can. And so people get burnt out, man. You can only play so many live service games before you're like, fuck it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to deal with it. Like, it's ridiculous. Most people only play 1 to 2 live service games. And that's if they even play live service games. I know a lot of people that don't. I know a lot of people that do. It's kind of all in between, you know? But they'll use the excuse like, oh, well, live service games, they maintain players. So because they maintain players longer than single player games, that means we got to keep making them. Then why are so many of them flopping and all these single player games are winning? Why is that? You know, like why is Resident Evil 9 fucking blowing doors down? Why is Crimson Desert blowing doors down? Why is Slay the Spire 2 blowing doors down? And live service games, fucking Marathon, struggling to keep 30K on a weekend? Why is that happening? Oh, but Marathon is fucking Marathon is niche. And you think a card game is not niche too? You think a card game is not niche? Come on, bro. What are we talking about? It's just, I don't know, man. Anyway, they're going to do what they're going to do.
It launched with huge expectations. It cost a fortune to make.
Fucking Concord.
And it shut down within a couple of weeks.
Nobody talks about Concord in any method. Nobody talks about Concord in any method other than failure. Like, if somebody wants to bring up failure, they mention Concord. It's not brought up in any other scenario other than that.
Gamers see these expensive live service experiments that nobody really asks for, and when they flop, a lot of people cheer. Not because they hate the developers who made them, but because it feels like the market is finally hearing.
I don't know why this is lagging. What I will say, though, is that you may say that we don't hate the developers, but what I will say is that a lot of developers hate us. A lot of developers hate us, and they make it very well known on their social medias, which is a whole nother problem.
Gamers' voices. And those voices.
I don't know what's going on with this video. I don't know why it's lagging all of a sudden. It's weird. Let me see if I can fix it. Hold on. Come on. Come on. Don't be gay. You're literally loaded up perfectly. Like, what's the deal? No DEI is mentioned? No, clearly not. Clearly not. I don't know what's going on with this. Hold on. Let me... There we go. Okay, I got it. I got it.
Yeah. Gatekeeping has been part of the problem too.
Let me go back.
It feels like the market is finally hearing gamers' voices. And those voices are saying, no, I'm not going to be an endless wallet for you. Gatekeeping has been part of the problem too. It started with game journalists and then moved to streamers and YouTubers.
You know, her saying that we're not going to be an endless wallet for you. You know, that hits so hard because if you notice, a lot of the industry is constantly trying to target Steam for a multitude of reasons. One of the reasons is because Steam makes so much money while offering so much value in terms of pricing to their customers. And it is in my belief that Steam is one of the, especially since people are finding Steam at a mass scale, It is in my belief, in opinion, that Steam is one of the driving forces as to why gamers these days are fighting more than they ever did in terms of like what they want to open their wallets for. You know, so I think it's because of the availability of all these games on Steam and the growing backlogs that people have in their Steam libraries. That makes it less attractive, and the ability for FOMO marketing to affect somebody is at an all-time low, right? That's what I really think is going on. I think that because of these backlogs that people have with Steam, which a lot of people have crazy backlogs, it's because of that people are less enticed to be like, damn, man, I don't want to miss out on the latest hot release. You know, people really don't care, man. When you have all these options, they don't care as much, you know? Anyway, let's continue.
Game companies understandably want to control the message, so they offer early access or they pay the creators directly.
Oh, here we
It's
go.
hard for creators to make money on content, so many of them get lured in. We saw this clearly.
You know what she's talking about? She's talking about them shills, boy. She's talking about those creators on YouTube that swear that they are totally being honest. But then they have hashtag ad in their descriptions when they're playing certain highly specified video games, highly selected video games. They, you know, the little hashtag ad in the description. It's so funny. It's so funny. You know exactly who I don't have to say any names. You know exactly who they are.
The creators directly. It's hard for creators to make money on content, so many of them get lured in. We saw this.
I don't want to hear that bullshit about many of them get lured in. All right, I really don't. Again, it's one thing if you're gonna take something after the fact, whatever. Like I've said so many times before, you drop your review, you review the game honestly, and if the developers reach out to you and they're like, "Hey, we just want to send you something nice. Like, would you mind?" Whatever. That's something different. But like, if you have hashtag fucking ad in your description and you're playing the game for the first time and you're trying to say that what you're saying is objective, that's bullshit, bro. That's absolutely bullshit. And you know it's bullshit, bro. Come on. Like, why? I just hate. I've always said, listen, go get your bag, bro. Like, if you want to take money from these studios, by all means, brother. Take the money from these dumbass studios that think that you're going to influence people to buy the game or whatever. By all means, take the money. Take the money. But, like, don't try to sit there and pretend like that's not what it is. Because that's really what pisses people off. If you're honest about it, then whatever, it's fine. But don't sit there and be like, oh, I'm not a shill. I gave you my honest opinion about the game. Brother, you got hashtag ad in your description. You cannot be brutally honest about the game. You might be able to be honest about some things, but you always have to hold back. That's the thing. You have to hold back. They know that. They get that. They understand that concept. But again, the entire discourse online is most people pretending like they don't understand what the fuck you're saying just so they can make discourse impossible. Happens all the time.
In 2016, when Warner Brothers settled with the FTC for paying influencers to post positive videos for Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor without proper disclosure. Millions of views later, gamers felt deceived.
Oh, wait. What?
This
Go back.
For paying
Go back. Hold on.
or they pay the creators directly. It's hard for creators to make money on content, so many of them get lured in. We saw this clearly in 2016 when Warner Brothers settled with the FTC for paying influencers to post positive videos for Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor without proper disclosure.
Ooh.
Millions of views later, gamers felt deceived.
Oh, see, it's shit like that starts Gamergate situations. It's exactly situations like this is the stuff they don't talk about. Whenever you look up, history and gaming and like, come on, bro. It's shit like this that is the reason why Gamergate situations happen in the first place. All the time, right? Influencers were paid thousands of dollars to promote Shadow of Mordor, but they never once told anybody about the promotion. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised whatsoever. This is why now the whole hashtag ad thing is a requirement on a lot of platforms. The hashtag ad thing is a requirement on a lot of platforms because of situations like this. And yes, Tiger King, I know. The ironic thing is that Shadow of Mordor actually is a good game. But it's not about the fucking game. It's about the fact that people were being paid to promote the game and then not being honest about it. They were lying about it. That's the problem, right? Because again, you can have somebody say, "Hey, check out my game," but then you're not sponsored by them. That's something different, right? If you tell people, "Hey, this developer reached out to me to check out their game. I'm not sponsored by them. I paid for the game. I was curious about it. I'm going to check it out." That's different. But if they're actually paying you money, if they're paying you real fucking money, then that's a whole nother conversation. That's a whole nother story, right?
This is big business. Of course, they're going to protect their investment, and that erodes trust even more. And that's the problem. The gatekeepers often make gamers feel like something is off. At best, they look out of touch. At worst, it feels like they're lying to us.
Well, that's always
Look at Dragon Age the Veilguard.
Oh,
okay,
no.
Critics gave it an 84.
Oh no. She said the magic words. Dragon Age the Veilguard. No. Where's my sad music? Hold on. You got to pull a barf down. You got to get down with 10 push-ups, right? Oh my God. What is she going to say about this game? Oh no.
Okay, critics gave it an 84 on Metacritic. Users, a 4. Compare that to Crimson Desert. It faced heavy backlash over the AI art issue and got hammered by some.
See, okay, heavy backlash though. Like, did it really get heavy backlash though? That's what I want to drive home. You know what I'm saying? Like, did it really get heavy backlash though? I don't think it did at all. I don't think it did. Like, it got all of these articles written about it, but did those articles actually cause any real fucking backlash whatsoever? Not really. Not really. If anything, all we did was just laugh at it. We all laughed at it as the game fucking skyrocketed to like 250,000, whatever it was, concurrent players. Nobody gave a shit about that. Very few people gave a shit about that. So the heavy backlash really didn't come from gamers, or it really didn't like affect gamers in any way. It was mainly just like, hey, look, all these journals are angry at the same thing, and they're all trying to convince everybody else to be angry, but nobody's listening. You know? So I don't know about that. But I guess whatever, from a mainstream perspective, I guess that's what she's talking about. She's talking about from a mainstream perspective versus the actual gamers, because she's going to mention the gamer score in a second. So hold on.
Desert. It faced heavy backlash over the AI art issue and got hammered by some. Yet many players are actually enjoying the gameplay, and the scores show it.
Yeah, there you go.
Gamers look at that and they start asking why one game seems protected while the other gets dragged no matter what.
Exactly. Okay. So she does. Okay, good. So she does say that. All right. So yeah, I mean, that's exactly the point. So she's right on that, where people start looking at stuff like that and they realize, okay, so why are you protecting this one game that everybody hates, right? You're protecting Dragon Age the Veilguard. The game's getting roasted by literally fucking everybody except for people that have an ideology to push. Verifiable, by the way. Like, you're not just making that up. This is something that's verifiable. Most people till this day who are now quiet about Dragon Age the Veilguard either never played it, or they played it a little bit and then they got bored and they dropped it and they went quiet hoping nobody would bring it up again. Right? It happens all the time, bro. People did it with fucking Highguard too. They were all saying Highguard's amazing. This is going to be the next amazing game. This is the #1 game ever. And then 2 days later, after their ad ran out, what were they doing? They were playing Arc Raiders. And then people were looking at them and they were like, why are you not playing Highguard? I thought you said Highguard was going to be the #1 best game ever. And they're like, yeah, bro, I just kind of want to get on Arc Raiders. I'm just feeling Arc Raiders today. I'm just feeling a little Arc Raiders today. You know what I'm saying? Stop bringing it up. It's just crazy, man. I don't know, dude. I just, bro, if you like a game, just say you like a game. If you hate a game, just say you hate a game. Stop fucking lying, bro. Stop bullshitting. Stop trying to pretend all this like gaslighting shit in order to protect your sponsors and stuff. That's why I can't do sponsors, bro. I can't do sponsors. There's too many fucking loose ends, man. I can't. These companies, no thanks.
And then there are the game developers that sometimes feel threatened on social media, so they lash out and try to control the narrative. And a lot of times they don't realize how out of touch they are with the actual people buying and playing their games.
Yep.
On the one hand, it's understandable. They're heads down working on the game for years. But with bigger teams, a lot of times you're also getting people on the project who are no longer there to make the best game possible. You get consultants or internal voices pushing priorities that have nothing to do with fun. Take the art director on Avowed. When he was challenged,
Yo, she said the quiet part out loud, boys. Hold on. She's cooking. Wait. She said the quiet, bro. Ooh. Did you hear that? Say it again.
they're there to make the best game possible.
Wait, a little further back. Hold on.
Down working on the game for years. But with bigger teams, a lot of times you're also getting people on the project who are no longer there to make the best game possible.
Oh. Damn, bro. She said sometimes on these bigger teams, you're not going to get people who are there to try to make the best game possible. Oof. Damn. All right. That was good. I like that. Just say the quiet part. You know what's crazy, man? So Laura Fryer is somebody who has all the experience in the world, okay? From like the gaming industry perspective. She's been through it all. All right. She's been through it all. She's not perfect. She's said things before that I've disagreed with, and that's fine. We're allowed to disagree and still be fucking normal people. Well, I mean, unless you're on Twitter, then that's not possible. But regardless, she's not perfect. But at the end of the day, one thing about Laura Fryer is that when she calls out people like that and she says things like that, nobody ever questions her. Do you notice how all these weird fucking psychos on Twitter, the wokies, whatever you want to call them, you notice how they'll never talk about her videos? Very, very rarely. They'll never talk about her videos. They'll never reference her. They'll never say anything because she's cooking. And they can't say that she doesn't know what she's talking about. They can't say that she does. What are you going to go to Laura Fryer and be like, well, you don't know what the fuck you're talking? Really? You can't do that. You can't do that. She knows that. So it's because they can't do the typical bullshit, the typical gaslighting against her. They don't even bother. They don't even bother going her way to try to, talk about what she's talking about. Because what are you going to say? She doesn't have the experience? Bro, really? She's done more than all these people have probably done combined. So anyway, let's continue.
You get consultants or internal voices pushing priorities that have nothing.
Yo, wait. I didn't realize she said the thing. Did she call out consultants?
Who are no longer there to make the best game possible. You get consultants or internal voices pushing priorities that have nothing to do with fun.
Oh my God. Oh, I didn't get this far in the video. Damn, brother, she said the thing. She's calling out consultants too? Oh, man. Damn, bro. Such as Sweet Baby Ig Baby. I don't know, man. This is... Oh, she's cooking on this one.
Take
the external voices.
The art director on Avowed. When he was challenged about...
And the art director on Avowed. Now, the funny thing is, bro, Laura Fryer, she must have a hard-on for this guy. Matt Stanson, whatever his name is. Because she's mentioned him as a failure. Like, she's mentioned him and his mistakes in multiple videos. Every time she needs to bring up a developer who acted stupid on social media, she always brings his name up. The guy Matt, yeah, all the time. It's actually kind of funny. So to hear her doing it again, it's like, damn, bro, she got to keep feltoning this guy. It's crazy.
Some of his creative choices. He posted that he so badly wanted to make Elon Musk mad with his game.
Yeah, because he's stupid.
Obviously, his focus wasn't on making a fun game for the players. It was about pushing a message.
Oh my God, bro. She is cooking. She is absolutely cooking.
That message has reach. Controversial rage bait gets amplified fast on social media. Even when developers are trying to be measured, their words can get twisted, and the next thing you know, their game is caught in the crossfire. And this is why we're here today.
Facts. All it takes is one dumb motherfucker. That's really all it is. All it takes is one stupid person to ruin it for everybody else. In the sense of like with Matt, right? So Matt decided his hatred for Elon Musk was more important than his company's game doing well, or at least his company's game not being in the crossfire of internet outrage for a multitude of different, well-documented, well-proper reasons. Like he said to himself, yup, I'm going to risk it all. Well, actually, no, to be fair, he probably thought in his mind he wasn't risking anything because these people live in a world, they live in a bubble that they think that everybody thinks like them. They truly believe, keep in mind, guys, these studios, they purposely surround themselves with people who think like they do. They execute, like they get rid of people with wrong think. They make sure to hunt down people that have wrong think, which we're going to cover in another story about Halo's the Halo story that came out recently. You're going to see exactly what I'm talking about, how they hunt down people who seemingly have wrong think and get them out and replace them with people that have right think, right? So yeah, exactly. Birds of a feather flock together. So it's he in his mind, he probably thought that whatever he was going to do was not going to be that detrimental because everybody thinks like him. Everybody who's normal thinks like him, according to his own mind. And then he found out, well, that's not the case. You know?
Camaraderie we used to have took a real hit. When the relationship is built on how much more can I get you to spend on my game, trust erodes fast. When your favorite influencer or journalist is suddenly praising a game that clearly isn't good, trust erodes fast.
Oh my God. Oh, this is too good. This is too good, man. This is too good. I've seen her videos before, and she's done some pretty good videos, but goddamn, now we're calling out journos. Oof. Oof. We're calling out journos, boys. This is when it's going to get interesting. I mean, listen, it's one of those things where the gaslighting, I think, is the most insulting thing about all of it. When you have access media gaslighting you and telling you that what you are seeing with your eyes, what you're hearing with your ears, what you're smelling with your nose, that is not happening. When they look at you and they tell you that all of your senses that are firing off and you're seeing all of this go down in front of you, and then they're like, that's not happening. Stop recognizing things. It gets to the point where it's like, what the fuck are we doing? The gaslighting is the most insulting thing by far in this entire conversation that is known as the Western gaming industry. If you could stop the gaslighting and just be honest about what you're doing, I think a lot of people, not that there would be more understanding, but I think there would just overall be a method of communication that would open up between all sides. We know you're doing access media. You're trying to convince people that's not happening. We know that that's happening because we could see it happening, and you're trying to say, well, that's not happening. You know, so it's like, I think the gaslighting is probably the worst part of all of it, you know, but anyway.
And when you find your favorite game maker is more focused on pushing a message instead of making a great game, trust erodes fast.
Oh my God.
I started as a board gamer because that's all we had when I was a kid. But as soon as I could start playing video games, I did. And I remember how magical those early days were. And as a gamer first and later a game developer, I see both sides. And when I look at this rift, it's heartbreaking, right? Game developers just want to make the games that they love. They want to make a game and let everything like the money and how we get to the...
Listen, man, people have been critical about video games for years. Okay, it's been like that for as long as I can remember. We used to have all kinds of bullshit, people talking shit, like that's always gonna be here. And the people that pretend like it was never here, you're a fucking tourist. I'm sorry, you're a fucking tourist. However, the shit talking aside, we were able to communicate with developers to some extent. There was always that feeling of, you know, developers are trying to reach out to gamers and get their games shown, and they were generally excited. Now they actually fucking hate a lot of their customers. And it creates this situation where it's like, once you do that enough times, now that's going to be the assumption. That's going to be the rule, not the exception. I'm going to assume that you automatically hate me based off a little bit of your actions and how you present yourself. You know? I just, you know, I remember the shit, man. Remember the shit talking from, we're going to go way back, boys. You guys ready for this? Remember SOCOM? Remember SOCOM, U.S. Navy SEALs, one of the best video games of all time, that also had some of the worst fucking cheating imaginable of all time? You know the amount of shit talking we used to do in the lobbies of SOCOM, U.S. Navy SEALs? Brother, you want to talk about Call of Duty lobbies? That was pre-Call of Duty lobbies, okay? We're talking like with the worst microphone. Remember they used to sell it with the microphone? Well, actually, let me take that back. I don't know if they sold it. I think they did sell it with the microphone. Oh, it was like an attachment. Regardless, whatever. The amount of shit talking that we were doing in SOCOM U.S. Navy SEALs was amazing. But it was so damn fun, man. It was unbelievably fun. And that game, you know, walked so that games like Call of Duty could run in the future and stuff. But anyway, the point is, shit talking is always going to be here. It's always going to be in the gaming stuff. Always. That's never, when I tell you that's never going away, it is never going away. But we all used to be able to shit talk, and at the end of the day, get together and play the game. Right? If you had a problem with someone, brother, you got in the game, and you just fought each other. Right? You just killed each other, and that's it. That's it. That's all it was. You didn't do none of this fucking gay shit on social media where now you have people that pretend to be gamers that are going around and trying to cancel their ideological fucking opponents based off politics that have nothing to do with the game. You got all this kind of fucking nonsense. You got people make like, it's crazy, man. People, you know what game people are playing now? Twitter. That's the game people are playing now. People are playing Twitter. They're not playing actual games. So the shit talking is going to be here and it's going to stay. But the problem is that social media has made a situation where these developers that, by the way, now these teams are so big. Like she said, teams used to be anywhere between 10 to 100 at the most. Now you got teams of anywhere between 200 to fucking 3,000 if you're Ubisoft, you know? You got these massive teams, which means that the chances of you having a psychopath amongst your ranks is a lot higher than it used to be. So now you have a much bigger team with a higher chance of psychopathic behavior, and now you have social media encouraging the narcissism of those psychopaths. And when you combine all that together, you get a situation like Matt Hansen or whatever the fuck his name is at Avowed, like she mentioned. Right? That's where you end up with a situation like, oh, okay, he's retarded, right? Like, why would you tank the entire perception of your game and your studio all because you wanted to make Elon Musk angry? Do you even think Elon Musk knows who you are? Do you think he cares? Do you think he really gives a fuck about who Matt Hansen is? Brother, come on, man. You really fucked over your entire team to try to anger Elon Musk. That man is out there laughing at you if he even knows who you are. It's so stupid. But again, it's the people who view everything as, well, the world revolves around me. The world revolves around me. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man.
The next one sort itself out. And most players just want to play the game. They don't want to have to try to figure out how they're being conned or spend hours researching to make sure that the game that they're being sold is what they're actually buying.
True.
I still long for those simpler days. I understand things change, but I also believe we can get back to what made gaming special. At some point, the game makers and the players need to give each other some grace because we are all on the same team. At the end of the day, we all want great games to play and to make.
I mean, I would love to think that. I really would, but I think those days are long gone. I think it's going to take a radical change in the industry for that to. I'm going to link the video, by the way. This video was amazing. Great job, Laura Fryer. Fantastic. Fantastic job. Very honest, very open. I feel like it's going to take such a drastic change for that to ever happen again. And it's going to take something where this industry is just going to have to, as crazy as it sounds, it's really going to have to, I don't know if saying burning to the ground is too extreme, but ultimately it needs a pretty strong reset. It needs a really, really strong reset because people in this industry just genuinely hate the fucking customers that they're selling games to. I think it's crazy that we are in an industry where people are saying that they hate the customers, and meanwhile, they also are asking for your money through multiple different avenues, whether it's DLCs, selling the base game, making it a live service game, whatever it may be. I just really think it's kind of ridiculous. So I don't know. I don't know what it's going to take. I really don't. I don't know what it's going to take. And keep in mind, Internet Peasant, he says, I disagree. Indie is the way forward. The indie industry is also co-opted by a ton of absolute crazies. If you think the indie industry doesn't have people that are on social media attacking people for political views, I guarantee you that is happening. If you want a prime example, remember the indie developer that was angry because their trailer was showcased without their permission on what they deemed to be an alt-right game award show? Meanwhile, he's getting free press. Didn't have to, all they said was they really liked his game. And that's it. He said, don't touch my game. Don't buy my game. My game's not for you fucking whatever, like right-wingers or whatever the case. It was the dumbest shit that I've ever seen. It's like Michael Jordan's famous line is that Republicans buy shoes too. And that line is what a lot of business owners need to remember before they start going on a fucking crazy tirade on social media, pretending like they're too good to be sold to whoever kind of person. You know? Yeah, exactly. Winter Burrows was an example, right? But this can all go down to one simple truth is that, like I told you guys the other day, social media has exacerbated the political problem in the sense that everybody is now using politics for clout. That's just what it is for a lot of accounts on social media. You had people that, 20 years ago would have never cared about politics in the slightest. They would have considered politics to be the old man thing. Now, all of a sudden, you got all these young people utilizing social media and politics in order to grow their accounts, pretending like they care, which ends up turning everything into a hive mind thing, and all this craziness starts happening. And it's a fucking nightmare. It really is. So, yes, I know indie games are definitely pulling the weight in terms of the industry lately. I know that. But ultimately, it doesn't make them immune to a lot of the situations that are affecting the AAA industry. And the truth, too, is that a lot of AAA developers are leaving AAA to go make their own indie studios. Some of those indie studios will end up finding success. When they find success, some of them will want to grow and become their own AA and AAA studios, and then the cycle continues. If those studios, once they grow, end up becoming public companies, now when it becomes public, now you got the same shit that you were dealing with when you left the first time. And the cycle just keeps going, The cycle just keeps going over and over and over. So in any case, great video by Laura Fryer. That was fucking awesome. I'm going to link it in the chat right now. By all means, please go watch her video, give her a review, comment, tell her where you saw it. I linked it both in YouTube and on Rumble. And then we'll kind of go from there. All right, let's catch up on supers, and then we'll go from there. That was a really good video, man. Really good video. That was awesome. Where are we at? This is a dad joke. We got Alucard. Did I do this one? Alucard with a 5. What's white, sticky, and covers your face and chest? Moisturizer. I see what you did there. Brian with a 2 says, when real men made games, gold fell from the skies. Well, I mean, I would just say when real gamers made games. And yes, obviously the majority of them were men at the time. But again, Laura Fryer is an exception to the overall, standard back then. But if you looked at and it's funny because she does show it in her other videos. I know she does. If you look at some of these older studios from like 20 years ago, and you look at some of their like conference rooms where they would get together and do meetings and stuff like that, bro, like all kinds of diversity. It's all over the place. It's insane. And everybody was just coming together trying to make an amazing game. You know, now it's just not like that anymore. That's the problem. It's not the problem. We got James up with it too. They made them lame and gay. It's fair. It's fair. Brian with a 5. You can't expect a dev to fix a game when they can't even figure out what gender they are. That is also fair. That is also fair. Well, I mean, the truth is they know what gender they are. It's just they're trying to convince everybody else that they're not whatever they actually are. Then we got DJ with a $50 banger. Says old man Cad served 2 hours of Italy. Wait, what? Served 2 hours of Italy at Olive Garden. Thank him for his service. What the fuck?
Holy shit.
What the fuck? Shout out to DJ. Thank you for the 50. I appreciate that. Hey, old man Cad. Hey, wait. Old man Cad, you work at Olive Garden, old man Cad? I didn't know that. That's awesome, bro. That's awesome. Congratulations. We got Brian with a 2 says this bee needs to tend to her cheap wine and cats. Nah, I think Laura Fryer's pretty decent. Like I said, I disagree with some of the things she says, but I think she's pretty decent. Jason Alto over to 5. She pulled out the steel-toed chanclas on this one. She did. I misread it. Did I misread it? Did I misread it? Let me see. Old man Cad served 2 hours of Italy at Olive Garden. Thank him for his service. What did I misread? Am I retarded? I mean, I might be. It's definitely a possibility. Jason Alto over to 5. She pulled out the steel. Yes, she did. Ron DFK with a 2. Holy crap. I'm riding Treebeard in Crimson Desert. Oh, did you find, wait. Did you find? Oh, 2 tours. Oh.
Holy shit.
Damn. My brain kept trying to correct it. You can't blame me for that. My brain kept trying to correct it, man. I was reading it as hours. Oh God. That's fucked up, bro. That's fucked up. We got somebody going crazy in the chat. Oh, I like that. Hold on. I like that. Hold on. Guys, I think I'm going to start making a rule. For every random weirdo we get in the chat, I'm going to turn it into a 30-second membership train. I want to every time I think, you know, I got this idea from Kino Casino. I gotta admit, I got the idea from Kino Casino. I think they call it Freebird, but I think every time we get a weirdo, because it doesn't happen very often, but every time we get a weirdo, I think I want to turn it into like a 30-second membership train where we just like spam the chat with like 111111111, like nonstop, just like 1111111 nonstop, just for 30 seconds. I'm not greedy. I don't want to. I just, because like when people say these things, it's like, brother, we're just having fun. We're just having fun. You want to know how we're having fun? Look at this. 1111111. Fuck you. Oh man, the troll is crazy. Yeah, exactly. Let's get some subs. Let's drown out the weirdos. Let's drown out the weirdos, boys. Let's drown it out. No, in all seriousness, let's get some subs, man. One membership for 30 seconds. Whoever's capable. Okay, again, you don't have to. Of course you don't have to. You definitely don't have to. Please, you don't have to. Remember, just only if you're capable for 30 seconds. You know, I'm going to play a song. What song can I play? Do I have songs? Right here. Here we go. They have Freebird. I have Jeopardy. Yeah. 30 seconds. Let's get some subs. 30 seconds. That's right. 30 seconds. That's right. That's right. All right, we're done. Okay, stop. Stop. It's fine. Stop. It's all good. We're going to do that from now on. I think that's going to be lore. It's not going to happen very often. But we'll play the Japanese music and we will do a subathon. That's what we'll do. We got to turn the bad moments into a good moment. That's what we got to do, man. That's got to look what you started. Hey, I try to turn the bad moments into a good moment. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the haters, though. I appreciate you guys, man. I unleashed the chat. Definitely. Oh, he's going to get really pissed now. Because T-Jap just told me. Shout out to you guys for helping us get to tier 2. Jesus Christ, man. That is amazing. Thank you so much. That is the how many streams is that in a row? I fucking lost count. What are we? 296. 296. We are 4 away. 4 away. That is beautiful from 300, man. Holy shit. All right, let's keep going. We got hold on. Oh, yeah, Ron DFK. I forgot to mention. Dude, I found that by accident myself. I found Treebeard by accident myself. There's like a group of child NPCs nearby that will give you a quest to grab an item from on top of Treebeard. I don't know if you found it. I found it by accident on the last stream that I had. So definitely check it out. It's cool. It's like a quest where it allows you to visit like a village or something without getting kicked out if you help them or something like that. It's cool. Brian Ross with a 10, I get it, but yo, she needs to be promoting Medicare and Life Alert on basic. Yo, that's fucked up. She's not helping anything for true gamers. If my grandma was still alive, she'd be wondering if this woman could cook. Bro. Brian said she's so old, she needs to be promoting Life Alert on basic cable. That's crazy, dude. That's crazy, man. Shout out to Brian for the 10. I appreciate that, man. Kicking donuts with the membership. Thank you, my man. King Demon Wing with the 5 membership. Thank. Shout out to King Demon Wing, man. Thank you so much for the 5 memberships. We got Binoc with a 20, says game devs who make games for the modern audience are like lemmings on a cliff. They jump off and hit rock bottom. Volition was a prime example. When will they ever learn? Binoc, Volition is one of those like really fucking sad stories. Not from like a situation meaning like I feel bad for them, but from a situation where it's like you guys had the ability to have it all. Like you guys sincerely had the ability to be a really major. I mean, they already were a major studio, but you had the ability to really be a major studio. All you had to do was just do the right thing by Saints Row, and they decided to just not do that. They were drinking the Kool-Aid and they fucking just completely threw it all away. And it's like, why, man? I loved Saints Row. I really did. I fucking loved Saints Row. We talk about it all the time. A lot of the times, actually, on this stream. And they just threw it all away. They didn't fucking care. They threw it all away for the modern audience. Yeah, I mean, there was other video games that they had under their belt too, other than Saints Row. But Saints Row is the one that I remember all the time. Yeah, they ruined their fucking legacy for what? For the modern audience? For what? What the fuck was the point of that? You know? But whatever. Anyway, Phantom Wars. Oh, here's the membership train. Let me play the music. Hold on. Let me play the music. Phantom Wars with the membership. UFO Omega with the 2 for the 1111111. UFO Omega with the 1 membership. Akuma with the 5 memberships. War Wizard with the membership. Panther with the membership. Amon with the membership. Dexter Bell with the membership. Let me lower the music. Hold on. Music might be a little loud. Mad Hatter with the membership. Forgotten Vet with the membership. Archangelus with the membership. And Little Jim's Halo with the 2. The children traumatized me, LOL. There you go. That's amazing. Shout out to Little Jim's Halo. Yeah, the music was loud, so my voice was probably drowned out. It was probably drowned out. But thank you, UFO Omega, Akuma, War Wizard, Panther, Ahmad, Dexter Bell, Mad Hatter, Forgotten Vet, Archangelus with the membership train, and Phantom Wars as well. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. That was fun. That was fun. And then we got DJ with a 10. You don't get the hype for download. You did it for physical media. The flops are flops because a bunch of gay socialists got empowered to move the message when they have no talent. I agree. There is always going to be something about physically collecting something, right? That's always going to have like something over you as an enjoyer of whatever, right? Whether it's DVDs, it doesn't matter. Like if you're talking about any kind of entertainment, physical collecting is always going to mean something more for somebody because they can look back. It's something tangible, right? You can look back at it. You can take a look at it. Just pick it up whenever you want. Like that's important for a lot of people. So when everything moved to digital media, especially in PC, I actually hate the fact that PC lost physical editions. I really do. I used to collect the physical boxes. I remember waiting to get my physical World of Warcraft collector's boxes. Like I just love that shit. It was great, but unfortunately, it kind of just went away. That's why like people tell me, oh, why do you collect the books? Why don't you just read it on the app like with manga? And I'm like, because I can still collect the books. Like I still have that option. If I have that option, I'm going to utilize it. You know. But thank you, DJ. And then Adair Soto with the membership. Thank you, Adair Soto. I appreciate that, my man. That was crazy. That was fun. Dead Rider on Rumble with a 5 says EA brought back virtual currency to The Sims, and I hate it. It reminds me of BioWare points. You never had enough to buy anything, so you always end up buying more just to get that one DLC. Facts. Yeah, the way that EA monetizes their games are just, you know, they've always been very questionable. And I think that's it on Rumble. Let me just double check. I'm pretty sure. Yes, that's it on Rumble. Okay. All right. Let's get to the next story, guys. That was fun. That was a fun segment with Laura Fryer. Like I said, go check out her video. Please make sure, you know, comment, tell her your thoughts, whatever it may be. Let's talk about this. Okay. So I know a lot of you guys already know about this, but I just haven't been able to dive into this too much. Because I've just been really busy, unfortunately. But I don't know if you guys saw this. Some of you have, I know, but like I don't think all of you have. There was an announcement for a subscription service for indie games. Okay. Now, immediately when I saw this on Twitter and I heard about this, all the red flags imaginable popped up in my mind for a multitude of reasons, by the way, right? Number one, I feel like this is an attempt to try to monetize a growing industry that is the indie industry. Okay. The indie industry has been hardcore growing over the last year to 2 years because of all the successes that they've had. And this feels like somebody saw the opportunity or what they thought was an opportunity to try to monetize that success by offering what they're calling an indie pass, basically. A lot of people are saying it's fucking gay, though, that they're not going to be doing that. So now apparently it's going to be a access to curated catalog of games from indie developers for $6.99 a month. It is set to launch on April 13th with only 70 games, most of which are unfamiliar. They come from the catalog of publisher Indie.io, the company behind the service, which aims to recruit more developers to the platform over time. Those who do bring their games to Indie Pass will earn revenue based on how much time subscribers spend playing their games. I'm telling you right now, guys, I want you to think about this for a second. How long does it take to play most indie games? Like when I'm not talking about indie games that are like fucking Hollow Knight Silksong that are offering you hundreds of hours. I'm talking about most indie games are probably going to offer you 1 to 3 hours, I think is the average, if I'm not mistaken. 1 to 3 hours of playtime, give or take. Obviously, there are some that offer more. I'm just saying the average is like about 3 hours. I think 3 hours is like the average for an indie game. So for 1 to 3 hours, how much money are you going to be making? If somebody downloads an indie game on this platform and plays for 1 to 3 hours, how much money are you really going to be making? How much is the developer actually going to be making from that? I guarantee you they're going to be making almost nothing from that. I think that if you put your game on this service, you are going to experience what AAA games are experiencing when they go on Game Pass and they don't have the clout to destroy Game Pass. What do I mean by that? So video games like Starfield, for example, that have that that had that clout from Bethesda that made people want to buy it on PC and stuff like that. Expedition 33, you know, all these games that have released on Game Pass day one, but they still did amazing elsewhere. Like you're going to lose your studio. I'm telling you right now. I would suffice to say that if you were to buy their game directly, that is going to be the equivalent to like 500 people playing their game on this Game Pass and them making money from that people. And again, 500 people will have to play the game for it to become anywhere close versus one person just buying the game directly and the developer getting the money. Yeah, it's like Xbox Game Pass 2.0, but worse. And I guarantee you most of these video games, they're not going to be the indie games that you're going to want to be playing anyway. They're going to be most of the indie games that get tossed into other bundles. Like you guys know, whenever they do like those humble bundles where they offer or like other bundles where they offer like 500 indie games, most of them are just these weird fucking kind of just one-off games that aren't really games, but you know, whatever, they get offered into the bundle. That's what you're going to be playing on this service. And they're going to want to charge you $6.99 a month for that. I don't know, bro. I think that this is going to be a massive failure. But anyway.
Hey, looking for your next favorite indie game? Let me show you something cool. Indie Pass is a subscription service just for indie games. It's got something for everyone, whether you're looking to strategize, battle it out, or kick back and get cozy. For less than the cost of an average game at retail, you get access to tons of amazing indies across every genre. Play as many games as you want, for as long as you want.
This is so gay.
Getting started is super easy. Just click the subscribe button, download the launcher, and you're ready to play. It's that simple. Indie Pass launches globally on April 13th. Head to indiepass.com to learn more.
That is the gayest thing that I've ever seen. I'm not even lying to you. That's the gayest thing I've ever seen. I want to be very clear. Like Fake Wizard, real life Fake Wizard. I don't know if you guys are aware, but real life Fake Wizard has a website called Fake Portal. Okay, and on Fake Portal, he is working with hundreds of indie developers on an insane amount of video games, and he's promoting every single one of those video games for free. For free. He is literally using his success on YouTube and the views that he is getting on every video to promote one game per video and funneling it all into Fake Portal where people can find indie games for free. And then that's one side of things. And then you have the other side where you have these people that are like, yeah, give me money. Give me money. Give me $7 a month that you can play these games that I'm curating for you. I don't know, bro. I really think that the indie scene, we cannot have the indie scene get taken over by the same bullshit that took over the AAA industry. We just can't. We can't let that happen. The moment you have the indie game scene get taken over by these fucking greedy, you own nothing and will be happy kind of just psychos, that cannot happen. Because that's exactly what this is. This is fucking Game Pass, but for indie games. So, first off, they don't want you to own AAA games. Now they don't want you to own indie games? I don't know, brother. I think this is I think this is a little bit ridiculous. And I understand. I'm sure there's some people out there that will definitely want to use this. I don't know how many though, considering people are not liking it. The primary complaints being aired on social media are compensation based on time played discourages games that aren't optimized to keep players in an endless loop. Indie games are already relatively cheap, so why not support developers with a direct purchase? It's another way to not own the games that we play. And oh, great, another launcher. These are all really good complaints. But the main one is the first two. You guys already know that with indie games, we already have an overabundance of a certain style of indie game because they're all trying to get people to play the same loop over and over and over again and pretend like that is going to last you hundreds of hours. What are we talking about? We're talking about roguelites, right? Indie video games, probably 8 out of 10 indie video games that have come out are roguelikes. 8 out of 10, probably. If I had to really put a number on it, I'm going to stick with 8 out of 10 indie video games are roguelite video games. The other 2 out of 10, well, there's something different. They're already trying to do that. This is going like if this is to become the norm, then they're going to create more roguelite video games that are all just meant to basically make death into a game mechanic to keep you dying, to keep you playing, and keep you replaying the same level over and over and over and over and over again. You know? I feel like if you really want to experience these kind of games, bro, just go. I'd rather you take the $6.99 and go buy one indie game a month. I'd much rather you do that. You know, and again, you guys know I don't tell you what to do with your money, but I can't help but recommend that. If you really want to spend $7 on this service, I much rather you spend $7 on one indie game a month and go support that studio directly with whatever game you end up buying for $7. You know, because if you blow $7 on this service, these people aren't going to see the money. I guarantee you they're not going to see most of the money. If they see less than 1%, I think I could expect that. If they see more than 1 to 2%, I would be shocked. They're going to be getting pennies on the dollar. And once your game ends up fading away, you would have hoarded your game out for nothing. Yeah, don't let this cancer gain traction. I'm telling you, man, this service, I really do not hope it succeeds. Because if it succeeds, it's not going to be good for the indie scene. It's just not. So, as 3D Realms co-founder George Broussard put it, this sort of thing is poison for game developers and a net negative for gaming. Absolutely. If the split to the developers is solid and help me find titles I otherwise wouldn't or would be on the fence about, maybe there is something there. No, there isn't. There is not. I agree with co-founder George Broussard. This shit is poison. Get it the fuck out. Nobody wants it. It's garbage. It's garbage. Let's stop it. Stop it in its tracks right now. Stop it in its tracks. Odin Dark with a 5 says Indie Pass just means to close multiple indie studios in seconds. This is more malicious than Game Pass. Yeah, I would say so. Because the thing about Game Pass is that it can be subsidized by one of the richest companies in the world, Microsoft, right? It could be subsidized. If Game Pass wasn't being subsidized, I don't think they would have made it to where they are now, personally. So who's going to subsidize this? Not the indie developers. Who's going to subsidize this? You know? Nobody's going to subsidize this. Archangelus with a 5. That's the most stupidest thing they could do. The indie games is already cheap. You don't need no pass. This is absolute greed for sure. Bro, this is just somebody who said, I have a great idea, and nobody told them it was a dumb idea. The person probably got together with his friends to make a company, and every single one of them said, yep, that's a great idea. Let's do it. And they did it. Nobody told them, should we really do that, though? Adair Soto with a 10. I really hate these monthly subscriptions, and they already have a subscription to UK. If you cannot afford a PS5, you can do a monthly payment. Yeah, you can lease a PS5 in the UK. I know. I absolutely know. You can lease a PS5. Fallen Reborn says, Hypnotic, how exactly is this company getting all these games? Makes me think of the fake indie scene being owned by corporate teams. It's definitely possible. It's definitely possible. I don't know how they're getting all these games, but it's definitely possible. I guess what it is really is that It's probably 70 developers that feel like their games have gotten zero traction, probably have gotten little to no traction, so there really is no net negative for them. If they release their game and they made like $100 total on it, what's the net negative for them to put it on a service like this and hope for the best? Even though there's a 99.9% chance that it's going to fail, for them, it's like they really have nothing to lose. You know, it's not like you're going to see Hollow Knight Silksong on Indie Pass. You're just not, it's just not going to happen. Right? But the kind of games you're going to see it's not going to be anything like that. Alucard with a 2 just downloaded Super Meat Boy 3D. Nice. Yeah, I got to try that game. Jason Long with a 5 says, use the power of your wallet. Don't support this Mego Corpo slop service. I agree. Do not do it. Do not do it, boys. Rumble. Did we got anything on Rumble? I don't think so. Let me just double check. No, we're good on Rumble. Okay. All right, here's what I'm going to do, man. I'm going to have to save the Halo story for tomorrow. I will cover the Halo story because I want to do Waifu Battle. And then also, guys, tonight over on Hypnotic Gaming Live. Let me go make it. Let me go make it live real quick. Don't go anywhere. Hold on. It's going to be great. Speaking of smaller video games, tonight we are going to be officially playing not Crimson Desert. We are going to be playing Darwin's Paradox. The link is right there in the chat. If you guys want to go hang out on that stream, I just made it live right now. We're going to be playing Darwin's Paradox for the first time tonight. It just released the other day, so we're going to check it out. We're going to start reviewing that game. I'm still playing Crimson Desert. It's just tonight I wanted to take a break because we've been playing Crimson Desert non-fucking stop. Darwin's Paradox, look it up if you don't know what it is. You know, I'll just show it. Hold on. Darwin's Paradox, we reacted to multiple times on this channel. Not know what it is, so I'm just going to show you what it is. We're going to be playing this tonight. I'm super excited. Check this out. Here we go. This is the game that had like the Metal Gear Solid skin. Remember that? Which, by the way, I just want to call her out. She's probably asleep. If Mr. Blue Cthulhu or Blue Octopussy is not in the gaming stream tonight, I am going to yell at them endlessly for the rest of time. There is a literal Blue Octopussy on the screen. We're going to be playing Blue Octopussy the game, and if you're not in the chat for that, I'm gonna be angry. No, but they're probably asleep, to be honest with you. They're probably asleep. But this is what we're gonna be playing tonight. It's gonna be a lot of fun, man. I've been looking forward to this game. So we'll see what it's like. It might be shit. It might not be shit. I don't know. We'll see. We'll find out. But it's something different. And we'll see what goes on. So hope you guys are excited for that. We're gonna be doing that in about an hour and 20 minutes. But by the time we finish the waifu battle, it'll be less than an hour. So it'll be good. It'll be good. It'll be at 12:30. On Hypnotic Gaming Live. So the link is there in the chat. I'm going to put it again for you guys to go check it out. You can wait in there if you want. You could go watch other streamers. You could go do whatever the fuck you want to do. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the support tonight. It was a lot of fun. SNH will return next week. So stay tuned for that. We'll have a lot of arguments and stuff. It'll be great. We got Adair Soto with a 5 says, you will own nothing and you will be happy. My wallet makers. Yep, that's what they want. War Wizard with a 2, Crimson Desert stream on an indefinite cliffhanger. No, it's not. Bro, it's one night, man. It's one fucking night. We will don't worry. We're gonna get back to Crimson Desert. Don't worry. All right. Guys, thank you again for the support today. I appreciate it. I don't think this. Oh, there is one gifted game. Hold on. There is one gifted game. What is this? What is this? Fangiana. Fangiana gifted a game. Hold on. Fangiana says, Happy Easter to you and the Bigot Army. Let's go, Fangiana. Thank you. Happy Easter to you as well. Gifted Frederick Bundle, which comes with Frederick Evil Strikes Back and Frederick Resurrection of Music. That is badass, man. Thank you, Fangiana. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Happy Easter to Fangiana. Thank you so much. All right, guys, let's get into the waifu battle. And then we're going to close out the stream. Let's have some fun. I got an interesting waifu tonight. I think I've been picking some interesting waifus lately. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Here we go. All right, boys. The waifu battle is here. Also, keep in mind, I'm gonna be potentially doing a waifu battle tournament. I'm gonna potentially be doing a waifu battle tournament. We'll see how that goes down. I don't know. We'll see. I'm thinking about it. Thinking about it. War Wizard with a 2 says the god. They're gonna have a field day with tentacle jokes. Don't do it. Don't do it, War Wizard. Don't do it. All right, boys. Waifu battle is here. If you guys missed the last waifu battle, I got to be honest with you, it was a little bit shocking. It was a little bit shocking. I did not think that she was going to win. But in all actuality, she did end up winning. The waifu battle champion is still none other than the one and the only Elvira, ladies and gentlemen. Very, 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 very shocking. I cannot believe Elvira defeated Catwoman, but here we are. Here we are. So before we bring out the challenger, let's go over the rules of engagement. Rule number 1, all super chats during the waifu battle can and will count towards a particular waifu, but the only way they're going to count is if you put the name of the waifu in the super chat first. You got to put the name first. If you do not put the name of the waifu in the super chat first, then it will not count. It doesn't matter how big they are. If you super chat after the fact and you put the name of the waifu you forgot to put the first time first, then I will make it count. Rule number 2, you can vote for any waifu regardless of who's on the screen. It doesn't matter. You can vote for the champion, who is Elvira, or you can vote for the challenger, but you're about to find out. It doesn't matter who's on screen at the time. Last but not least, after the second waifu comes off screen, I'm going to do a 30-second countdown. After that 30-second countdown, no more super chats are going to count. It doesn't matter how big they are. The last super chat that shows up on my screen is going to be the one that counts. So please, if you're going to vote, vote early and vote hard, ladies and gentlemen. Do we understand the rules? We don't understand the rules. Stop lying. Stop lying. All right, boys, listen. All right, so I thought last time bringing out somebody who can play on an even playing field in terms of, you know, like the fucking latex and the leather and all the whips and chains and all that shit, that didn't quite work. Okay, that didn't quite work. So now I got to go the opposite direction. I got to bring out somebody who hasn't been in the waifu battle in a very long time, but people tend to like her. People tend to like her. So we'll see how it goes. All right, boys. The challenger that's going to go up against Elvira is going to be none other than the one and the only Kasumi from Dead or Alive, ladies and gentlemen. Let's start the clock and let's see who is going to win. Is it going to be Kasumi or is it going to be Elvira? The names are on the bottom. This is a complete opposite character from Elvira. Complete opposite character. Not as gothy. Well, I mean, not gothy at all. And, you know, she kicks ass. She kicks ass, man. Let's figure it out. Let's see what's gonna happen now. Oh wow. Okay, hold on. Rumble. Wow. Rumble's going crazy. Draconic with the 5 for Kasumi type shit immediately. Genetic Spore says dirty play Hypno. You can't put bikini girls in. What? Wait till you see how Elvira looks. Deadeye's Lock with $1 for Kasumi right off the bat as well. Right off the bat, we got $6 for Kasumi. They're not even waiting on Rumble. How the fuck is Rumble beating YouTube and they have like an hour built-in lag? How the hell is that happening? What's going on here? Goth lady versus Japanese model? I'm just saying. Why the fuck is Denarier talking about strap-ons, brother? Why is this happening? War Wizard with a $20 banger for Elvira, ruining the dreams of all Kasumi fans. In the chat, he says, compared to the Mistress of Dark, Kasumi is DOA, dead on arrival. Oh, that was nice. That was fucking brutal. Yeah, I'm gonna like that one. That's maximum level shit talking. I like that. Shout out to War Wizard. Damn, that's next level shit talking. Blue says, I don't know how I feel about you playing a game with a blue octopus. Listen, Blue, you got to deal with it. It is what it is. It's happening. It's happening whether you understand it or not. Actually, if you look at the thumbnail, you're on my back. I would show you, but right now we're doing the waifu battle. But if you go look at the thumbnail for the stream, the blue octopus is on my back. So that should make it even worse. I'm just saying. Think about that. It's crazy. We got Old Man Cat. Oh my God, bro. These Elvira fans. What is happening? Old Man Cat with a 1999 banger. Elvira, the original goth hottie. Who is Kasumi? Never heard of her. Did you never play DOA? You never, but how do you not know? Well, I guess. Maybe, I suppose. Thank you, Old Man Cat, for the $19.99. That is $40 combined with War Wizard. $40 fucking dollars, bro. Damn, man. What's going on? Kasumi fans, what's happening? Oh! Hayden Wayne! Oh my God, Hayden Wayne came in here strong. Hayden Wayne turning the tables around. Barely putting Kasumi back in the lead with a $50 fucking banger, Hayden. God damn, I love Hayden, man. Hayden understands, bro. Hayden understands, man. He knows what's up. Shout out to Hayden Wayne for the $50 banger. You mother... Akuma with a $50 banger for Elvira. Jesus, fuck. What is happening? What is happening right now? All right, we got to take Kasumi off screen. Hold on, let me get Elvira up here. I got an animated Elvira this time because I needed something that was a little bit different. But I'm sure you guys won't mind the way she looks. I'm sure you won't mind. Let's start the clock and let's see who is going to win. Is it going to be Elvira or is it going to be Kasumi? Let's find out. Akuma dropping a 50 right after Hayden dropped a 50 to try to counter Hayden's vote for Kasumi. That's crazy, boys. That's crazy. Oh my God, Akuma, that's crazy, man. I did not see that coming. Raza with a 10 over on Rumble for Elvira. Sorry, Rumble buddies. Yeah, I don't know about that. Thank you for the 10. Denarier with $1. Kasumi, that's Raza's strap-ons. I don't even want to know what she's doing to her husband. Me and my hubby definitely don't need any of that. God damn, Denarier, that's a fucking image I did not need that image, brother. We're doing the waifu battle, my guy. Like, come on. You couldn't save all that information for like later? Later? Like much later? Damn. Jason Long with a 5. Elvira, goth waifus rule. They do rule. I'm not gonna lie. I do like goth waifus, but still. Raza with another 10 for Elvira. It's for women at Denarire. Well, there you go. There you go. Deidre Connick with a 5 for Kasumi. I said Kasumi type shit. Let's fucking go, Deidre Connick. There we go. Hayden Wayne's not alone. Hayden Wayne's got the support with Deidre Connick over here. Let's fucking make it happen, boys. Akuma is not, my man, he is not letting it down. He is not letting it down. Akuma dropped another $20 banger for Elvira and then says, oops, my credit card running loose again. God damn, boy. Like, you know, like Akuma, he doesn't just drop the donos. He talks shit too on top of that. That's what actually makes it pretty amazing. He talks all that shit. Appreciate that, Akuma. His credit card's running loose, boys. His credit card is running loose again. Damn, man. Listen, Kasumi is not that far behind. We can still make this happen, all right? We can still make this happen. Kasumi's not that far behind. DOA fans. Exactly. Sonia says Kasumi's a cutie pie. DOA fans, come on. Come on. We got to make this happen. I have faith. I have faith. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see. She's down 52. Is that the official number? Down 52? That's not bad. It's not terrible. I've seen much worse. I've definitely seen much worse. Guess we'll see. Sonia says she's counting. Thank you, Sonia. Hound says, I've always had a thing for Neo Tengu and Christy from DOA. Makes sense. Makes sense. Oh my God, man. What is happening, boys? Boys, what is happening? Old Man Cad with a $49.99 mega banger says Elvira for the win. She knows things that these young girls never have heard or even attempted. Bro, come on. Come on, Old Man Cad. Yes, Twisted Master. Twisted Master with a $69 mega banger for Kasumi. Shout out to Twisted fucking Master at the last second. What an absolute legend. Damn, thank you so much, Old Man Cat and Twisted Master. Final countdown. Stop lagging. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Waiting for lag, waiting for lag, waiting for lag, waiting for lag, waiting. And that is it, ladies and
Waifu Battle Belt is mine!
holy shit.
Holy shit.
All right. So the last couple of super chats they counted was Ridoka at a 333 for Kasumi. Thank you, Ridoka. I appreciate that, my man. That profile picture is absolute fucking nightmare fuel, but I appreciate that. And then we had Black Tailgate dropping a $20 banger for Kasumi. Thank you, Black Tailgate. I appreciate that. You fucking legend. And then this guy. War Wizard dropped a $100 Red Boy Hyper Banger for Elvira. Fucking anything but goblins or clankers. Too many pinch points. Jesus fucking Christ, War Wizard. Fine, I'll play something. Just give me a second. Thank you for the Red Boy. That's insane. That's insane. I very much appreciate that. And then we got Deadeye's Lock with a 5 over on Rumble for Kasumi as well. Thank you, Deadeye's Lock, for the yellow boy on Rumble. I appreciate that. And then, unfortunately, Akuma's $30 banger for Elvira, Let's Go, did not count. But it counted in my heart, my man. Thank you, Akuma. I appreciate the $30 banger. That means a lot to me. You shit-talking guy. War Wizard, he said anything but goblins or clankers. Okay. Fine. Let's play the clip while Sonia counts it up. It was extremely close before that red boy. It was extremely close before that red boy.
Oh my god, it's a red boy hyper banger.
Shout out to War Wizard. That is a massive donation, brother. $100 red boy. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. You fucking legend, man. Holy shit. That is crazy. All right, numbers are in, boys. Numbers are in. Here we go. We got Elvira at $263.24 versus Kasumi at $159.33. That means without the red boy, Elvira still would have won by about a little under $4 or a little over $4 around there. It would have been a $4 difference if it wasn't for the fucking red boy. Wow. That was a close, extremely close battle. Damn, man. Well, with that being said, boys, that means the winner. And still, Jesus Christ, how is she still winning? Waifu Battle Champion is none other than the one and the only Elvira, ladies and gentlemen. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Let's do it one more time, ladies and gentlemen. One more time. Let's go. There is definitely a lot of coping and seething happening, without a doubt. Myself included.
You are coping and seething. You just can't accept what you're seeing. Yes, you're coping and seething. The truth is scalding, and now you are molding and coping so hard. Coping and seething.
And that's going to be it. That's going to be it for the waifu battle, ladies and gentlemen. Elvira is going to go backstage. She will face off against another waifu tomorrow. Hypnocast, 9 p.m. Do not miss it, ladies and gentlemen. Do not miss it. All right, boys, listen, today was a fantastic stream. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me on this glorious Saturday. We never usually get Saturdays to ourselves. That never happens, but today we got to have it, and a lot of you guys showed up, so I appreciate that. Thank you so much for the support today. Tomorrow, I'll see you guys on the next Hypnocast. But until then, here's a link to the game stream. I'll be live in a little less than 1 hour after I do some editing. I'll be live and playing Darwin's Paradox for the first time. So if you want to see what that game is like, come hang out with us today. And I think it's going to be a different vibe compared to Crimson Desert. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I'll see you guys on the next one, whether that's tonight's stream or tomorrow's videos or tomorrow's streams, whatever. But until then, happy Easter to everybody. And go be bigots and go be gooters. And stay to the end for the raid if you're too lazy to go click the link. Bye.
I am not gay. I have relationships with women and sex with men. And I got news for you. That means you can.
Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
Her dog or her cat was named Vagina.
Put a ticket in, make her gay. Suck Indiana Jones, put a ticket in, make her lady gay. Fuck Indiana, put a ticket in, make her gay. It means put a chicken in a queenie and make her fucking gay. Fucking pronouns! Fucking pronouns! Fucking gender ambiguity! Fucking current day California shit! That's all we fucking know! Cause we're boring! We're so fucking boring! Twitter hole! Twitter hole! Get it right!
At the touch of the black man, I bring life. 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 That's right!
Why the hell are you still here? Go on. Get out of here. Go play some video games.